bring everything but the hog out. Think we eat nothing but grass, what you talking about? I'm about to jump into the whip and hit the Whole Foods early. Get everything to get that soul food working, like mac and cheese, the collard greens, the black eyed peas, and get a roast of that tofu turkey. Got cornbread, even got stuffing. Mashed potatoes so good, put your hands in it. String beans, and you know we got yams with it.
So guys, welcome back to another video, and I hope you're having an amazing weekend. If it is the weekend, it's the weekend here at the moment. I don't know when this video will be going up, but anyway, we're getting the plant-based gains on here. We've got the sunglasses on, the sun's out. We're doing a Q&A, so I asked some questions on Instagram and also Facebook for a Q&A about veganism, my life and such like. So I'm going to be doing these every few weeks, probably every Friday, or every second Friday I should say, if I can get that right. Don't worry, we're getting there. So if you would like any questions answered on the channel about recovery, veganism, mental health, spiritualism, anything funny, anything at all that you want me to answer, I'm an open book. Please let me know in the comments below. So the first question I'm going to answer is from Andrew Marlowe. Please go and check out his amazing channel. I'll put the link down in the description below. He asks, if you only had 1 week left on the earth, what would you like to go and what would you hope to accomplish, as well as what changes in the world you would like to see? Oh, where would I like to go? Where would I like to go if I had 1 week left in the world, my life? Oh, I would love to go to Thailand, guys. That's a place that I've always wanted to visit. I would love to go to Thailand. I would love to go to Israel and see around the Great Wall and such likes, because I'm a big Christian. The thing I would like to see accomplished in the world, if I only had 1 week left, would be a vegan world. Peace and love for animals, human and non-human alike, where we all live as one, which was God's final dietary law, that the wolf should sleep with the cub and everything like that, you know what I mean? So we're all together as one, because that's the speciesist mindset that we have. We just see one set of animals as food and another as companion animals, such as dog and cat. So that would definitely be the one wish that I would have, but if I had 1 week left, to see a world where everybody lived in peace and love together and nobody suffered, because animals are the most victimised and oppressed beings on this earth. So absolutely great question, Andrew. I really appreciate that. The second question is from another dear friend, Dianira Ramos. She asks, what are the kind of changes you are making to head and move forward in your recovery? Well, the biggest change I'm making is being compassionate and loving to myself, because when you've got an eating disorder, the hardest thing is to actually like yourself, as you all know. So I'm beginning to obviously implement and be kind to myself, doing special things for myself, taking time out for myself, looking after myself, and actually believing some of the things that people say to me, because every time I hear somebody complimenting me, I don't believe the things that they say, because your eating disorder obviously tells you that you're a worthless person. So I'm actually taking in compliments now and believing that, yeah, they may be very true, because people aren't always just saying things to make you feel better. It is because you're in some way doing something good in this world. So I hope that I am doing that, and that's the biggest thing that I'm doing. Nourishing my body, mind and soul, feeding it what it needs, which is calories, food, good food, nourishing food, and not being afraid of any food. If you fancy a cake or a pizza or anything, have it, because it's going to do you no harm at all. It's going to do you a lot of good. It's going to move you forward in your recovery, and every single pound you gain is a step forward in life, and it's giving you back the life that your eating disorder wants to take away from you guys. So that's the biggest thing I'm doing in recovery. Thanks very much for that question, Dianira. I really appreciate it. The next questions I actually got was from Mary Lily 2 on Instagram. She's actually got a great YouTube channel called The Disabled Activist. I'll link that below as well. Please go and support her, guys. She deserves it, and so much more. She's asked me a lot of various questions. So number one was, what was the turning point for you that made you realise you needed to recover? Well, the biggest turning point for me was actually knowing that I had to look after myself to look after anybody else, because I've got so much I want to achieve in life. Like I say, I want to start going out doing street activism, which I've actually started doing, but street interviews and such like, that's where I really want to take this channel. So to look after the animals, I've got to look after myself. And the biggest thing that I've always said is, my father's passed away and my mum's passed away, my grandfather's passed away, and they always wanted me to recover and live for me. So I know to honour them, the best thing I've got to do is live life, love life, and move on in life. So that's been the biggest part of the turning point in my recovery. But I would say sometimes it's just something just clicks. Like I say, you never really know what the turning point in recovery is. Some people just say they wake up one day and you're just sick of it, and that's really what's happened to me. I've just woke up and I've thought to myself, look, I've got to recover, I've got to start living life, because life is slipping away. It's that ticking clock, and every single day is a gift from God. So you've got to keep fighting, guys. You've got to keep moving on, because only you can recover. People can give you all the help and support you want, but it's really you that's got to put in the hard work and do it. Yes, gaining weight is really, really hard, but there is no other way to recover, guys. You've got to do that, and that's really, really important. So thank you very much for that first question. She also asks for a second question: do you feel that your recovery is connected to veganism? Well, just like I said there, it is connected to veganism, because veganism and the vegan lifestyle has opened the doors that my eating disorder closed, because it's taken back all the fear foods that I used to have, and it's nourishing my body. Like I say, knowing what you're putting into yourself is not only good for you, but it's good for the animals and the environment as well. That's the biggest thing that you can actually do, because your eating disorder takes away all the motivation from you, and knowing what you're doing is not only helping yourself, but helping so many other factors, which is the animals and the environment as well. And you're also helping people as well, because you keep showing how veganism is helping you. Veganism, as we all know, cures so many illnesses, like I say, heart disease, strokes, cancers, diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is actually known to reverse that. Like I say, all these things can be improved and actually reversed in a plant-based vegan lifestyle. So that was the biggest thing for me. So yeah, it's connected to veganism in so many ways, but like I say, veganism is not about you, it's not about me, it's ultimately about the animals, and it should always be about the ethical reasons, and that's why I went vegan, was for the animals. Great question, thanks very much for that. Number 3, she asks, how does recovering from an illness like yours impact on your vegan activism? That's a brilliant question, like I say, because every single day you just don't know where your illness is going to take you. Some days you wake up and you feel absolutely terrible. Your mental health can be all over the place, guys. So it's about learning to be kind to yourself and trying to take time out for yourself, which I know I haven't done much of recently. I do that quite often, guys. Like I say, I always put the animals first, but I've found and realised that you need to look after yourself before you can look after anybody else. So it does impact your activism quite a bit. I've done so much, and I need to take time out for myself back and forward, like I say, but always remember that you've got to look after yourself before you can look after the animals or anybody. So it does impact your activism, like I say, but just remember, don't put too much pressure on yourself, because your illness will obviously tell you, that eating disorder voice will say to you all the time that you're a failure, you're not worthy because you're not doing so much. Like I say, that you can only do so much, guys. There's only so much you can do. So don't let that eating disorder tell you that, because it's a perfectionist syndrome that we've got, you know what I mean? It's always pushing you further and further. You're never good enough. But always remember, just be kind to yourself and know that you are enough, and it's okay not to be okay sometimes, guys. Number 4, she asks, what advice would you give to other sufferers with similar illnesses? The one thing I would say to you guys is, don't suffer in silence. Speak out to whoever you can, whether that be a family member, a friend, there's so many peer support groups online, such as B-eat in the UK, NEDA, the National Eating Disorders Association. You've also got See Me Scotland, if you live in Scotland, which is a mental health charity. And just Google up mental health charities in your area. There'll be so many in the US, wherever you live, Australia, anything. Go online, you can speak to people anonymously, people that's going through the same illness as you. Like I say, don't suffer in silence, because eating disorders especially thrive on secrecy, and you'll never really recover until you actually accept you've got an illness, accept recovery, accept help, because you can get all the help you want, but you've got to put in the work and obviously speak out about it, because like I say, it thrives in secrecy. So don't think you're ever suffering alone, and don't think that somehow it's showing a sign of weakness about speaking out, because there's so many people suffering the same way, but we're all here to support one another. So that's my biggest thing that I would say to you guys. That was an absolutely great question. Number 5, she asked, what do you love most about being vegan? Well, the abundance that we have, guys. There's abundance in options for everything. Everything you originally could get in a US standard diet, you can get veganised. Pizza, cakes, burgers, everything. Like I say, there's options for everything. Your plant-based milks, there's about 20 different plant-based milks: coconut milk, almond milk, rice milk, oat milk, hemp milk, cashew milk, everything, guys. But the biggest thing for me is being vegan for the animals, and that's what it's all about. Like I say, knowing what I'm doing is not only helping myself, but it's saving so many animals. Every single day you save one animal's life, and in a year you actually save up to 200 animals' lives, guys. So that's the biggest thing for me, and that's what being vegan's all about. She also asked as well, number 6, what do you find most challenging about being vegan? That is a big part. It's like the dystopia. It's like waking up in this dystopian world. If you ever watched the dystopian psychologist, I think her name's something Man, I can't remember her actual name again, but she talks about living in this dystopian world. It's waking up in a world where you see yourself as been lied to, because you see so much suffering every day. The most victimised and oppressed beings on this planet are animals, guys, and that's the hardest thing for me about being vegan. Just waking up every day, seeing a world that's just so geared to animal exploitation. Like I say, there's animal products and everything, but being vegan is about doing the least harm you possibly can, because we all know that just by living in this planet you're still causing harm in some way. So it's about doing the most you can and just being as vegan as you possibly can be, avoiding obviously things in your food products, the clothes you wear, exploiting obviously for animal testing, and obviously on your products that you use for general hygiene in your home as well. Obviously things like obviously circuses and betting on animals as well, guys. That's what veganism's all about. It's a social justice movement, and it always should be that, guys. Just the same way we're fighting for rights for LGBT communities, Black Lives Matter, women's rights, but animals do have a voice, but we just don't hear them. So I think in some ways it's hard, because people don't take the message, because they love to hear the message from the victim, but animals can't obviously speak out. We can't hear them, so we've got to speak out for them. So I think that's hard as well, because people love to see the victim's perspective and the victim's voice, but we can do that for them, guys. We've got to show that. We've always got to be there. So that was a great question. She also asks, what's your favourite milk and why? Vegan milk, of course. My favourite vegan milk would have to be oat milk, because I feel that's the closest to obviously cow's milk that we can get. It's very creamy. It's great in coffee. I love oat milk, guys. You can obviously make your own. Like I say, get a nut milk bag and just strain your oats or your almonds with water. You can do all that yourself, but definitely my favourite would have to be oat milk. Number 8, she asks, is if you could only eat one hot vegan meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? That's an absolutely amazing one. I loved curried dishes, guys, so vegan curry, a vegan chickpea curry. I obviously love things like vegan mac and cheese as well, so yeah, that would be my two favourite ones. Like I say, vegan curried dishes, vegan mac and cheese would be my favourite hot meals, definitely. Number 9, what one food that everyone loves but you hate? That is a brilliant one. I really don't like avocados much. I force myself to eat them, but I really don't like avocados. They just make me gag, but I try to get them in for obviously the healthy fats and such likes, but definitely avocados are one vegan food that I just do not like very much at all. Number 10, and the last one she asks is, what's your favourite form of vegan activism and why? Well, my favourite vegan form of activism is just all forms of activism. They've all got their own purpose. Like I say, you don't have to be standing outside a slaughterhouse to be a vegan activist. Sharing your meals, sharing your lifestyle, that's all vegan activism. Opening up a vegan pop-up, just delivering to people, that's activism. So my favourite form of activism really is speaking to the public. Cuba Truth, Anonymous with the Voiceless, I feel that's the most powerful thing, because animal exploitation only exists because of supply and demand. So the only way we're going to stop that and bring it back down to level and create a vegan world is by educating the public, because like I say, that's the only way we're going to stop this from happening. Like I say, we're gradually moving forward, the vegan movement has been exponential in the growth lately, so my favourite form would have to be vegan outreach, speaking to the public, street activism. That's the biggest thing we can do, guys. Thank you very much for all your questions. If you've got any questions you would like to ask me, please link them down below in the comments section. Remember, as always, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and be kind to every kind. The only difference is your perception, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love you so much.